All right. Hi, everybody. Hi. Welcome. I am calling the meeting to order at 6:40 p.m. on Tuesday, May 19th. If I can please start with have our lovely select board introduce themselves, especially because we have 2 new members since town meeting day. Derek, you want to start? No, just kidding. Derek. Larry Friedman. Timber Cadell. Sherry Cornish. Celia Gallup. Great, thank you. All right, I have a couple of announcements before we start today's meeting. Robert's rules are the basic orders for this meeting. All questions and remarks should be addressed to myself as moderator. My name is Audrey Grant, by the way. If you're making a motion or seconding, please state your name. Articles must be moved and seconded before being restated by the moderator before debate can begin. For previous articles to be reconsidered, the request must be made before the moderator restates the next article. After a motion and a second, this requires the request to reconsider be from a person who voted on the winning side, and I will ask you how you voted, and your neighbors will know how you voted. Articles may have 1 amendment, and the amendment can be amended once. The voting to proceed from the last proposed amendment back to the main motion, and we can do this as any number of times. Eventually, we will vote on the amended main motion if any of the amendments are passed. A paper ballot can also be requested if 7 people agree for a paper ballot. Debate can be stopped with a motion to call the question. That requires a 2/3 vote. However, the person making the motion must first be recognized by the moderator and not just hollered from the floor. So, if someone is speaking and you want to call the vote, stand, I will recognize you, we will bring someone over with a microphone, and then you can make a motion to call the question. The role of the moderator is to explain procedural questions, but no voter should hesitate to ask a question. If you have any questions, you can say point of order, and that proceeds to stop the discussion, and I will ask you what your question is. I also have a resource here. I have Roger Fox, who's the former Walden Town moderator, who will be assisting me on other issues, but he will not be speaking during the meeting, just answering my questions. Great. Voters need to stand when recognized. Please wait for the microphone and again state your name. This time we have 3 runners, 1 for this side of the room, 1 for this side of the room, and 1 for the balcony. Lynn is raising the microphone up there. So please wait for the person with the microphone. Thank you. A voter will not be recognized to speak a second time on the same motion or amendment until all other voters have had a chance to speak for the first time. If your cell phone rings, please take it out in the lobby. If I cannot decide on the outcome of a voice vote, a division will be requested. Actually, let's ignore that, because everyone should have an index card, right? Yay, we all have index cards, yay. So this means that everyone with their index card checked in here with the town clerk. Please do that if you haven't already. And this is how we have decided we are going to vote for the meeting. Okay. Great. Thank you guys all for coming today. Thank you to the Civic for having cookies and lemonade in the back. Take care of yourself, it's warm. So, all right, let's get started.
Point of order, please.
Yes, Paul.
You say we've decided to vote.
Thank you, Paul. I appreciate the comment.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
This is Paul Fix, editor of the Hardwick Gazette, Hardwick Residents. You just said we've decided we're going to vote by index card?
I am sorry. That was an error on what I said,
Thank
and
you.
I apologize. I rescind that. Hearing no objections, we will vote via hand vote with the index cards, as opposed to a voice vote. All right? Folks can still call for other forms of voting, but just to guarantee that everyone is in the room that is a registered voter, unless there's any objections, we will vote via index card. All right.
Can you repeat that all again?
Yes. All right. If there is no objections, we will vote via a raised hand holding an index card instead of a voice vote. Does anyone have any questions about this? Yes? Or as? Absolutely. Unless there's any, yes, Ori's asked, we can still call for a paper ballot, absolutely. Unless there's any objections, in lieu of a voice vote, we will vote via hand raise holding a index card. Great, okay. Let's begin. Article 1. Shall the town contribute $25,000 to be matched by more than $700,000 of other public and private funds toward the acquisition of plus or minus 329 acres of land on Buffalo Mountain to become a town forest to protect recreational access, fish and wildlife habitat, forestry, and Lamoille River quality, and to provide outdoor educational opportunities for school children? How would you like to proceed? Yes, Paul. Please.
Paul Silo.
Microphone.
I move the article. Article 1.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? Second. Okay, hold on. Who said second first?
Eric Remick.
Thank you. All right. Is there any discussion on the article? I see. Yes.
Yes, may I speak? Rachel Kane.
Yes.
Thank you. Oh, hello. Hi. Many of you were here at the regular town meeting, and we gave a bit more of a presentation at that time, if you didn't catch of our other presentations. So I'm just going to give a very brief reminder of what this vote is for. Okay, I'm not real.
Please be respectful, first of all. Thank you.
I'm not real used to using a microphone. I'm sorry. So this is a one-time contribution of $25,000 by the town of Hardwick to a project that's actually over it's about $810,000 is the total value of this project. So a one-time contribution by this town was requested as part of the fundraising. The tax loss of that is less than, we thought no more than $5,000 per year is lost in property taxes per year on that parcel. One really, the beautiful thing about this, a town forest in this case, is that a town forest is in our own control, in the town of Hardwick control, and it will be forever. It's not the same as conserved lands. Some people say, oh, there's plenty of conserved lands, but conserved lands can change their status anytime, or people can sell, or things can change. Current use is the same thing. So a town forest is our land forever, that we in this town will decide as a group with the steering committee, and the select board will decide what might happen up there. So it's guaranteed public access forever, for 100 years, for however long. I mean, I don't want to go further than that, but the next generations can take it from there, but there's not going to be change that way. And it will ensure public access for hunting, for snowmobile access that exists already, and community use. There's many things that the schools in particular we are excited about, I am excited about, to opportunities that a forest in the middle of the village gives to for nature outings, for nature trails, for classrooms. I think many of us realize that kids don't get outside as much as they used to, and this is going to be a beautiful, safe place that we can develop that's going to be there for your kids, but also for their kids. So I really personally think it's really important. We have a beautiful town. I think Buffalo Mountain is a beautiful, beautiful feature, and everyone can recognize when you see a picture of Hardwick because it's Buffalo Mountain right there. I think it's an amazing opportunity for us to turn this beautiful property into a forest for us, and also enhancement for visitors. So what happens on the land? I am going to ask my co-chair from the Conservation Commission, Lucy Zengen, and she's going to talk to you a little bit about the steering committee. And the steering committee is being formed right now, and they've had a lot of ideas, and they're going to be collecting ideas from everybody too. So here we go, Lucy.
Lucy Zengen, resident of Hardwick. There is a steering committee, so if this vote goes through today, a steering committee will be formed of about 17 people, and they will decide the plan going forward for the town forest. If you have questions like how much money is going to be spent, will there be trails, will there be hunting access, will there be timbering, these are the people who will answer your questions. This is a committee formed of townspeople. All of you who are residents are eligible to be on that committee, and they are still taking appointees. So if you would like to be appointed to the steering committee, and if you have questions, if you have opinions, please contact the select board for appointments. They're appointing people as soon as this Thursday. So when these questions come up, just know that those are the people who will ultimately answer them. Thank you so much.
Whoops, I forgot. I should know that rule. Ori Zainsworth. I just want to ask for a paper ballot. I know there's more discussion, but I want to get that out there on the floor.
All right, we have a request for a paper ballot. Do I have, okay, there, yes. So, a paper ballot can be requested at any time. This was something that I have since clarified since last meeting. So, great, thank you. Okay, so we have one request for a paper ballot. Please, can I have 6 people raise your hands? And then can I have you, Tess, we can have folks just say their names for the record. And I only need 6 of them.
Julie Holcomb Gravel.
Justin Foster.
Doreen Coda.
Lynette Fontaine.
Sean Adris.
Karen Collier.
All right, is that 6? Great.
Yep, Tanya's got 6.
Tanya, are you all good? Perfect. All right. So, hi everybody. So at this point, a paper ballot has been requested, and when I do read the question to move towards a vote, we will move forward and do a paper ballot. All right. Is there any other discussion on the article?
Hi there.
Paul has the floor first.
All right. You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. The last speaker said that if the vote proceeds or if the vote passes, there will be a steering committee formed. What would happen about a steering committee if the vote doesn't pass?
Rachel, do you want to answer that?
Yes, I can.
If we can please keep the side conversations to a minimum. Thank you.
Yes, I can answer that. I think that was just the way it came out. The steering committee is being formed regardless. The town did agree to accept this land if all the pieces came together. We're assuming that the pieces will ultimately come together with the grant funding that's rolling in, being applied for from other places. Our town contribution is part of that. We're assuming that everything is going to move ahead. So the steering committee is part of the process of kind of deciding what's going to happen up there. So that is being formed at the moment.
And the select board also wanted to answer to that question.
Yeah, so just to clarify the process for the steering committee. So the select board did at our last meeting create the steering committee, and there was a call out to community members to put a letter forward. We also have a questionnaire that folks can fill out. We did put a deadline of the 15th for that, purely so that way we could get some nominations done this coming meeting on the 21st. It is a 17-person committee, so if we do not fill those seats, just like any other committee in the town, those seats will remain open until filled. So if you're interested in being a part of the steering committee, I believe there's still time to put that letter in and answer that questionnaire. That is on the town website. Amanda Fecto, who's here tonight, also has a lot of information about that. It is certainly not closed right now because we have not yet made those nominations.
All right, and then there was a point of order.
Colette Foster. I'm just wondering, about having to do with the vote. We don't have to vote on having a paper ballot vote?
No. So what happened at last town meeting was you as a body made a motion to suspend Robert's rules to require a majority vote. When you suspend Robert's rules, it only modifies the rules for that specific meeting. So none of the rules that we did at the March meeting applied to this meeting. Are there any questions about that? Does that answer your question? Great. Okay, thank you. Are there any other, anything else related to the article? Yes.
I'm just wondering if it's...
Please wait for the microphone and state your name.
Marie LaPregrabon. I'm just wondering if it's possible to counter a paper ballot.
Not at this point, and I really want to keep conversation relevant to the motion at hand. Thank you, though. Yes, thank you, Lynn.
My name is Tyler. I live on Cherry Street, and I'm sorry it's hot, and I think we're kind of cranky up here. I mean this with respect. I'm wondering if somebody can just explain why you guys want to do the paper ballot. It feels like a waste of time, and it's hard for people who aren't able-bodied. I'm not trying to poo-poo. I'm just genuinely wondering why, what's important about it. If anybody wants to volunteer.
Tyler, I appreciate it. I am not going to moderate this conversation because it is not germane to the article at hand. I would please like to keep the conversation relevant to the article as listed. Are there any questions or comments related to the article? Yes. Sorry.
I wanted to clarify something I heard. This is Robin Grant, Hardwick voter. I heard something tonight I wanted to clarify. Rachel mentioned the tax burden on the land. I think Rachel had a dollar amount that went by me. Could we just go over that again? How much taxes are paid on the land now, and what happens to that tax payment when the town becomes, if the forest becomes public property?
Okay. Does anyone from the select board want to answer that?
Yeah, I can certainly answer, Robin, the question about what happens when the town, if and when the town is gifted the property. We don't tax our own property. So that tax revenue would go away. I believe it's, okay, so I can speak a little bit louder. I was just clarifying Robin's question about what happens when the town acquires or is gifted land. We do not tax ourselves, so that tax revenue would no longer be included in the grand list. And I believe, Rachel, I don't have the exact number. Do you have, it's 5,000?
Hi. The loss to the town is no more than $5,000 a year based on the current taxes. The tax bill that was paid was a little bit more because some of those are school taxes that the state keeps, but the actual loss to the town is no more than $5,000 based on the math we did for this year.
Thank you. Yes.
My name is Roberta Foster from Hardwick. Just to answer your question, it's our right to do it, and that's what we want. Secondly,
great. I'm so sorry.
I was going on the.
If it's relevant to the article at hand, yes.
Yeah, and the taxes, it's not 5,000. It's over 6,300. I checked with Tanya myself on both of those parcels, and the thing of it is, you say it's just that much now. But if we were to develop it and let other people come in and buy, that would create revenue. And as far as this vote, I'm sorry. I'm the one who started this petition. Blame me. But I had a lot of followers. And the thing of it is, what we were upset about is we didn't have a say in this. This was all mumble. Everything was quiet. Nobody knew about it until like the last minute. And that really frustrates me. Secondly, why something of this magnitude was it not voted on Australian ballot to begin with? Because there's a lot of people that on town meeting day that either couldn't get away from work or couldn't afford to get away from work, and they did not have a voice. That's why you see so many people in here today. And I think if we still could have had an Australian ballot, you would have seen a lot more voters come out to vote. And just to let you guys know, whether we pass this or not, and I'm saying no, because it's going through. Opie told us that at the last select board meeting or the special meeting that we had. It is true. Ask people that were in that meeting. But anyway, all I'm saying is I say no, because we have roads that need work.
Thank you.
Put that money toward the roads.
Thank you. All right. I see Lynn. Sure. Yes. Okay. Over to Andy. Andrew. Oh my God, I'm getting people's names. All right.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, so I thought this already happened.
Please introduce your name.
Andrew Gilbert.
Thank you.
I move to call the question. Let's
All right.
do the vote.
All right. We have a motion to call a question. Is it? Oh gosh. Is there a second for calling the question? Sure. But is there a second? Okay. Do I have a second to call the question? Can you please state your name?
James Kelly.
Thank you, James. All right. At this point, a motion to call the question has been motioned and seconded. This means that debate will stop. The body gets to vote on whether or not we're going to end debate and move directly to a vote. So again, we're going to vote via paper ballot. So this is specifically a vote to end discussion. Are there any questions about what we're doing right now? Okay. Yes, Elena. Please wait for the microphone. Thank you.
Elena Considine, we're going to vote with index cards whether we're going to vote by paper, whether we're going to move to the question.
Yes. Okay. We're going to use our index cards when I tell you to signify if you are wanting to move to the question or not. Is there anything else? Okay. Please hold on. Yes. All right. Right now, there's a motion and a second to call the question. All calling the question does is asking the body, as a 2/3 majority, if we want to end discussion and move to a vote. Okay? Justices of the peace, can I please have 3 or 4 of you come up to the front and help me count? All right. All those in favor of calling the question, please signify by raising your index card and hold it up high. Okay. Do we need to? That's a majority. That's a majority. All right. You can put your cards down. Yes. If they want to vote against it. It's a majority. It doesn't matter. Okay. All right. Hi, everybody. I would really appreciate it if side conversations in between decisions end, because I really want to be respectful of everyone's time. All right? So, at this point, we have moved forward. We are no longer discussing Article 1. We have moved forward to the paper ballot vote. The way that this will work is based on your last name. You will, again, exactly how you checked in, come up gently and quietly to the front here. If your last name is NZ, you're in that row along the back wall. If your last name ends with A or through M, you are through the center. Are there any questions? Can I please have can we have the front row first of folks with who need extra help getting up front, please? Any mobility issues? Please and thank you. Article 1. All right. Sorry. I just want to clarify. We are now voting on Article 1, which is, in my notes, shall the town contribute $25,000 to be matched by more than $700,000 of either public or private funds towards the acquisition of plus or minus 329 acres of land on Buffalo Mountain? You know the drill. All right? The front 2 rows are first. Exact same order as you checked in. Thank you. All right. We have the results of the paper ballot. In the affirmative, there are 234 yes votes. There are 89 no votes. You have passed Article 1. Please have folks quiet down. Thank you. All right. Really quickly, the select board wants to make just a quick clarifying point, and then we will move on.
Thank you all. I just realized that these index cards also work great as a fan, so if you need that, just an idea. I wanted to just state, just to clarify a couple things very quickly, that as of right now, the select board we do not have a policy for public engagement around real estate acquisition or the selling of our own real estate. It's something that we've talked about, working on a policy for that. We don't have any details, but we have discussed it at a meeting. I really appreciate everybody coming out to talk about it, and I just want to say that we have heard all of you, and we appreciate all of the feedback. So thank you. Keep coming to meetings.
Thank you. I see a hand here.
Jennifer Fliegelman. I make a motion to suspend Robert's rules to require a majority vote to move forward with a paper ballot.
There is a motion to suspend Robert's rules to require a majority vote on a paper ballot. There is a point of order. We're going to arise in the back.
As I explained at the select board meeting after the last town meeting, you can do show of hands and whatnot under Robert's rules. The only way you can do a paper ballot is following Vermont state rules, and they cannot be charged. So if 7 people, no matter how you vote on doing show of hands, if 7 people say, I want a paper ballot, you must do a paper ballot because you cannot change state law. And that's after 20 plus years of training.
So I would like to clarify, as town moderator, I did some research and I talked to Ed Chase, who's the town moderator trainer for the state. And I also talked to Susan Clark, who's the town moderator in Middlesex, Vermont, who also wrote a book about town meeting day. And both of them said that communities can absolutely adjust Robert's rules and specifically can adjust the requirement for paper ballots. There is some kind of gray area around this question of the 7 people. And it's a gray area because the law doesn't discuss it, not because it's wrong necessarily. They just haven't at the legislative end figured out what exactly this means. So from my understanding, communities can absolutely suspend Robert's rules around paper ballots to require a majority vote or any other systems they see. And in fact, multiple communities have done this exact same thing. Are there any questions about this? So there was a motion to require a majority vote on a paper ballot.
I'm not standing because of my leg, but Dave Barnowski, and I second.
We have a second. I call for a paper ballot. On the suspension? Second. Okay. Sorry, what? Okay. Yes, Tyler, up there. Lynn? Oh, Matt, sorry.
All right. I'd just like to say this is not about how you're here to vote. We already settled this on town meeting day. The whole town came out to vote. I understand not everyone was happy with the results. That is okay. It's not about how you voted. There are a bunch of people here tonight that have been very inconvenienced. All of us have been, no matter how you're voting. This is an inconvenience to everyone to have to be here, especially folks with young children. It is our kids' bedtime. They are hungry. There are a lot of people in that same boat. We're here with our kids because we have to be, because we care about our town and about our community. I'm proud to be here tonight to vote, but I'm kind of pissed off that I have to be. And this is an argument for efficiency, please. Let's stop the obstruction. This is not democracy. This is obstruction of democracy.
It's a motion, a second, and 2/3.
Thank you.
I am very sorry. I just want to clarify. I read over the requirements, and for a suspension of the rules, there is actually no debate. So I'm very sorry, and there's only a motion and a second. There will be no debate. We are moving straight to a vote. That is the rules, the Robert's rules requirements for suspending the rules. Okay? So at this point, Jennifer, can I please have you stand up and reread your motion, please? Yes, yes. Okay, great. I will read the article then. Shall the town vote to require that all future voting at annual and special town meetings be conducted exclusively by Australian ballot? Jennifer.
Jennifer Fliegelman, I make a motion to suspend Robert's rules to require a majority vote to move forward with a paper ballot.
All right. Oh, I'm writing this down. Okay. Okay. So the motion is as stands. There's a motion to suspend Robert's rules to require a majority vote for a paper ballot. There was a motion and a second. We will now proceed with voting. Hearing no objections, we will vote via index card. Actually, that's how we're voting. Yes, we're voting via index card.
So are we voting that we're doing a paper ballot?
No, this is a motion to require a majority vote for a paper ballot request. Okay, hold on. If people have a question, please raise your hand. You have not spoken yet. Thank you.
Brendan Buckley, East Hardwick. I'm just curious, is this tonight's meeting or ongoing, henceforth, Hardwick meetings?
So, when we suspend Robert's rules, we only suspend it for this specific meeting. If the town wanted to change something, it would have to be done via charter change, and then that would affect all of our town meetings going forward. That is a multi-year process. So we're just talking about tonight. Are there any other questions related to, okay. Are there any other point of order specific questions? Orez? Actually, no, we'll go to, yeah. Sorry. Orez has already spoken. Thank you.
Thanks. This is Ann Galloway. I'm a little confused. So this vote is for, instead of having 7 people vote for this, we need a majority to vote whether we're going to have a paper ballot. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
So there will still be 7 people requesting a paper ballot. It will then go to a majority vote. If the majority votes in favor, we will then have another paper ballot. If the majority votes opposed to this, we will require a majority vote. No, I had that backwards. So sorry. I had it right. Okay, great. Yes, if folks vote in the affirmative, it will require a majority vote for a paper ballot to move forward. Anyway, so we'll leave it at that, because I'll start confusing myself. More point of order questions. Rachel.
Okay, but what we're voting on right now is if we're going to do what you just said.
Yes.
Change the rules.
Are we going to change the rules to require a majority for a paper ballot?
So this vote is about changing the rules, and
Yes.
then henceforth,
for the rest of
if
this
the 7
meeting.
people say that they want it, we will do the majority vote.
Yes.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Are there any other point of order questions? Paul Cielo here in the front. I have to get everybody before I come back to you.
I just want to clarify that this is requires a 2/3 majority.
Sorry, yes. So to suspend Robert's rules requires a 2/3 majority. The motion also requires a majority, okay? Great. 2/3. Are there any other, and I have the number of registered voters in the room. Are there any other point of order specific questions about this motion? Well, is this a point of order?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
And I'm reading from the state document put out for Vermont moderators. And it says that Roberts requires a majority vote on those present and voting to demand a paper ballot. State law, which we cannot change, allows a paper ballot on the request of 7 voters unless the town has provided some procedure before this meeting.
I do not have that last section. So my resources from Ed Chase, the town moderator trainer, says that Vermont law requires 7 voters unless other arrangements are made. This is the exact same logic that we used at last town meeting.
But Robert's rules does not allow for paper ballots.
I understand that.
Only state law. So using Robert's rules to do paper ballot is not legal. And if you continue this way, I will bring it to the Vermont State Moderators Association. And you did it last time. It cannot be done.
All right. Please only speak. Please only speak when called on. Thank you. I understand the concern. I am just letting you know what I have as resources. You get to make the decisions here, okay? I'm going to reread the motion again. Oh, sorry, there's another point of order. Is this a point of order?
I believe so.
Okay.
You can tell me.
Great.
Randy Bledsoe, East Hardwick. Horace, would you please clarify what part of what you said was actually read from that document and what part was just you speaking? Thank you.
Oh, sorry, Randy, can you please address that to me? We cannot address other people.
I would like to know what part of what was just stated was actually in the document she read and what part was a spoken recounting of her understanding of the law. Thank you.
I believe that everything she had read was from the document she has. Orize, do you concur?
I may have been paraphrasing, but there's another line.
All right, please pause. At a certain point, I'm just going to call it.
Okay, I am reading. I am reading. One town, for instance, decided at the beginning of the municipal meeting that paper ballots were too time-consuming to remain at the whim of 7 voters and voted to require a majority vote on a request for a paper ballot. A moderator may, of course, decide at any time to use a paper ballot, but Robert's rules does not and this is my knowledge, Robert's rules does not apply to paper ballots.
Okay, I understand that. We're suspending Robert's rules to change. I understand that it is a Vermont state law to require the 7-person unless the town has made other arrangements, which I believe is what we are doing right now. Please, we do not need to clap, guys, please. Okay, I'm going to read the motion and we will vote via raised index cards, all right? All those in favor to suspend Justices of the Peace, can I please have you ready? Thank you. All those in favor to suspend Robert's rules to require a majority vote for a paper ballot, please raise your index card. Great. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Please be silent while we're counting. We're voting on whether or not we're going to have a majority vote for a paper ballot. So yes means we require a majority for a paper ballot. And no means that 7 people can call a paper ballot and we will do a paper ballot again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. All right, please keep your hands up while we are still counting. Thank you. I counted the ones upstairs. All right. I'm going to mute myself. All right, you may put your cards down. All those in opposition, please signify by raising your index card. Please raise them up high, and if you're not voting, raise them low. Thank you. I can't tell who's voting where. 1, 2. Back row, are you voting? Are you voting? Okay, I know, up, yep, okay, great. Should do it. All right, you may lower your cards. The ayes have it, and you have passed the motion. It was 167 to 44. All right, so now, folks are still welcome to call a paper ballot. It will just require a majority vote to move forward with the paper ballot. All right, we are back on Article 2. Shall the town vote to require all future voting at annual and special town meetings to be conducted exclusively via or by Australian ballot? Please wait for, yeah.
I'm Ben Patzman, and I make a motion to, let's see, how am I going to do this? To move forward with voting on allow an Australian ballot for.
Okay, you're making a motion on the article?
Yeah, I make a motion to move forward on the Australian ballot.
Just say it. So moved. Great. Thank you.
I move the article.
Great. Good job. Yes. Yay. All right. Do we have a second? What? There you go. Yep.
Ashton Allen, I second it.
Great. Okay. All right. Is there any debate, discussion, any comments or questions on Article 2? Yes, here in the back.
Sam Rayom of Hardwick. I think that as a young person who can't always access town meeting day, I could, I suppose, fight to access it. But I'm busy. Australian ballot is important. I also want to emphasize, I do think there is space for nuance in this question, wherein we can preserve both the voting capabilities of town meeting day, the tradition and the dialogue. I appreciate this type of dialogue in my community, as well as put all questions to a ballot, which this article does lack that nuance. I'm still a little divided on how I personally am going to vote. I just wanted to put that out into the world.
No, yeah, Dave's on it.
Ross Connolly, Hardwick. This is great, what I'm seeing. Maybe we should change town meeting to the evening. I really am heartened by all the people that are here. I just think it's absolutely wonderful. It's not a question of whether I agree with you, you agree with me. It's like we're in this together, and this is our town, and I just think it's absolutely terrific that we're all here. We are the legislative body for Hardwick. Our town meeting is, and we're the ones who get to decide on the articles and amend them if we so choose, vote them up, vote them down. That is our right as citizens of this town. And the fact of coming together, hearing each other's opinions, speaking to each other, not just having you go into the voting booth and you drop your ballot in and you're not really taking full responsibility for the decisions unless you show up at every select board meeting and let them know what you're doing. I think this meeting tonight and every year on town meeting is exceedingly important, and I would hate to see us move everything to Australian ballot, because essentially that's getting rid of town meeting, and we don't have the opportunity to interact and make collective decisions, which is what this is all about. Thank you.
There's one more. Yep, Dave. Yep.
Peter Moskowitz from Center Road. The nuance that is needed in this motion is when the Australian ballot is conducted. And if it is after town meeting, then there's the chance for debate, there's the chance for cooperation and conciliation and information being passed about. So I think this motion should be rejected, and the whole question should go back to the select board as a charter issue, not as a vote that we conduct now.
Tess.
Yeah, we got Cheryl and then Bear.
Hi, I got out of the shower earlier and was thinking about this, and so I wrote it down what I was thinking about, because otherwise I don't speak very well.
Can you please state your name?
Cheryl Michaels.
Thank you.
And I think I'm sort of in line with everybody else. I agree the town meeting isn't convenient or even possible for everyone, and that we need a process that allows a greater participation, especially for something as important as the town budget. I've seen, however, how easy it is to vote down a budget when there is no discussion, just a checkbox. For example, the school budgets. I was thinking that having town meeting in the morning, then opening up ballot voting in the afternoon and into the evening might work. Town meeting would be informational. The town budget, either other budgets and items could still be presented and discussed. No sooner than I had decided this was a great idea, then I remembered that at town meeting, we sometimes make motions, have a discussion, and end up making a new motion as a result. Having the ballots printed ahead of time would not allow for changes or compromises. And will we still hold town meeting on a weekday? Shouldn't we look at that too? In summary, I would like the select board to appoint a small committee that solicits ideas and opinions, considers many options, and comes up with a plan. This move to an Australian ballot seems incomplete to me. I'd like to see a better proposal that is well considered and preserves the opportunity for discussion and change while making it possible for a greater portion of the town to vote. And that's why I am voting no on this proposition.
Bear Bassett, Hardwick resident. I think this is important because
we had a third of the people at town meeting. So what about the other 2/3? You know, they were out of the loop for some of these votes. You put it on Australian ballot. If you don't like it, you get another meeting like this. I think Australian ballot would eliminate some of this paper voting that we've been doing. I think it's almost anti-democracy to leave out the people that can't get here for whatever reason, whether it's work or immobility or travel or transportation. I mean, the whole voting populace should be able to voice their opinion by Australian ballot. And if you want to come to town meeting and you want to talk about the issues, we're not negating that. You can discuss the issues, you can get more informed about them, and then you can cast your vote. But I think it's important to include everybody on these budget items.
Yeah, Tess, we'll move down next row.
Ron Wiesen. Is this an appropriate time to amend?
Please, hold it. No, hold it to your mouth.
Is this an appropriate time to amend the motion?
He asked if this is an appropriate time to amend the motion. And to that, I'm honestly not sure. I'm assuming it is. Yes. Hearing from the audience, I believe it is an appropriate time to amend the motion. Roger? Do you have any notes? You're not allowed to speak to them.
In that case,
Okay. So offer an amendment, yes.
in that case, I would like to amend the motion to say that from this point on, town meeting be held Saturday afternoons.
All right, 1 second. All right, can everyone please hold 1 second while I figure out the appropriate next steps? Thank you. Where is it on here?
Melissa, you need a second.
Lynn, are you upstairs?
Oh, true. Thank you.
That's all I'm saying.
Hold on.
There she is.
Thank you for your patience. All right, so there is a motion to amend the article to hold Hardwick's town meeting on Saturday afternoons. Is there a second on this amendment? Second. Please raise your hands and we will state your name for the record.
Ann Galloway, thank you. Second.
Yes. Okay, yeah. Oh, it's off or dead. Dave?
Okay, David
Oh, great, thank you.
Kreindler, a resident and citizen of Hardwick.
Thank you.
Question, is the amendment a strike-through amendment that replaces the original? It is.
Yes. So at that point, the amendment, the Article 2 would instead read that future town meetings being held on Saturday afternoons. That is, we are voting on whether or not to change the article to state that town meeting will be held on Saturday afternoons. So, okay, hold on. We are just voting on whether or not we're changing the article that then we are actually going to vote on. So if people don't like this amendment, you can vote it down right now, and then we'll go back to the main article. That's that Article 2 as it says on your warning. And then we can go back to that discussion. Yes, Ron.
May I withdraw my...
Absolutely you can. Yes. Hold on, let me just look at my notes and confirm that you can just say that, but okay, yes. Yes, okay. It has to be done by the mover.
Which he did.
Okay, you withdrew the amendment. Yes. Okay. At this point, hearing no objections, the amendment has been withdrawn, and we are back on Article 2. Shall the town vote to require that all future voting at annual and special town meetings be conducted exclusively by Australian ballot? And it was seconded. Is there any discussion? We're going to go up here to Andy.
I call the question.
There is a motion to call the question. Okay. I'm so sorry. Does a motion to call the question require a second? Yes. Yes. All right. Is there a second? Can you please state your name for the record? Okay. Tanya, you got that? Okay. So at this point, we have a motion and a second to call the question. If you vote against this, there will still be more debate. If you vote for it, we will just go straight to the vote on Article 2. Okay? Yes, Paul.
Just, again, this requires a 2/3 vote.
Yes, it requires a 2/3 majority. Thank you, Paul. Yes, I will. Call the question. All right. So there was a motion and a second to call the question. All that this does is ask the body if we are ready to end debate and move directly to a vote on the article. So if you vote down this motion for the question, it means that we will still continue to debate. And the calling the question has to be done via a 2/3 majority vote. Is there still any confusion? Is there a point of order in the back there? Well, yes or no? Okay, that's fine. Okay. Do we figure it out? Great. Okay. All those in favor of calling the question and going to a vote, please signify by raising your index card. JPs, can I please have you count? Please keep talking to a minimum while we count. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. Justin, are you voting? Okay, thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Woo! All right, you may put down your hands. Sorry, one second. All those opposed to calling the question, please signify by raising your index cards. Sorry, thank you. Okay. Thank you. You may lower your hands. Thank you. It'll be one moment while I clarify some math. All right. So calling the question requires a 2/3 majority vote. There was not a 2/3 majority, so it has failed, and we are going back to debate on Article 2. So, are there any other thoughts and questions about Article 2? Lynn, I see up here. Yeah, yes, Lynn, yes. Let's start over there, and then we'll work our way down.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Dean Hale. I know most of you don't know me. I'm up here on the balcony. I'll try to move. I want you to see my face. I'm a real person. My wife's friends don't think I am because I don't get out of the house much. That all being said, I'm in favor of the Australian ballot for a lot of reasons. It's really hard for me to talk. I'm sorry, I might choke up. I'm not good in public. I've spent a lot of my life in places with malfunctioning or non-existent democracy. I spent 5 years in Afghanistan because I wanted them to have the things we take for granted. And I would be remiss in not wanting the same thing for my town that I wanted for Spinbull Dock, that I wanted for Kunar or Berrycoat Village. And that was universal representation, universal suffrage, and the ability to access democracy for everybody who lived there. I don't think it's necessary to do away with town meeting. It's important. We do see each other. I see you, you see me. I hear people that don't agree with me, and that's good. because we're allowed. But to say if you can't be here, you don't get to vote, that's not democracy. And I know people feel a certain way about language. I know there are children present, but I want to say what I think it says when you say if you're not here, you can't vote. That's Taliban shit.
There's, we'll go to Erin, Lynn.
Hello, Erin Rosenthal, Hardwick. My question is, what would the next steps be to have what Cheryl Michaels suggested, which is a subcommittee that studies the ways that our town needs support so more people can either be present or explore other solutions like childcare, hybrid voting? Like, what are the next steps?
Absolutely. Select board?
Yeah, it's a great question, Erin. So,
can you get closer to the microphone?
Sure, that's a great question, Erin. We did take that first step by having a town meeting survey, which Kristen Leahy was very good at handing to everybody who came through the door. We also had that at town meeting. So I think that the select board has been actively trying to ask people questions about what would make town meeting more convenient. A perfect example is we decided to have this meeting at 6:30 p.m. to be reflective of people who are working, and so folks could maybe grab a bite to eat beforehand. We did not think about it necessarily going until 8:45 and then driving home in the dark, so apologies about that. We'll think about that in the future. But I think that to really answer your question, Erin, so just to clarify what this article would specifically do, which I think is a part of your question too if it was passed, is that town meeting, we determine when we're going to have town meeting, typically in the fall. Town meeting, if this were to pass, would purely be informational. There would be no debate, there would be nothing from the floor. It would be purely essentially a meeting where we could tell you the things that we're going to be presenting in the budget, just like we always have an informational meeting, but usually fewer people show up to that than to actually town meeting. So it would be informational, and then all voting, the way this states, every single vote would be in Australian ballots. There would not be any voting or amendments from the floor.
Does that answer your question? Does that answer your question, Erin?
That really allow more people to come to town meeting because we value this experience. Like, what are the next steps? Does the select board solicit people who would want to be on a committee to study it? What's worked in other towns? What hasn't worked? I know, didn't Woodbury move their town meeting to Saturday? And I'm not sure what the outcome of that is, but can't we make more informed decisions about how we shape and change this? Because I want more people here to participate. And,
sure.
But I also don't want to lose this forum.
Yeah, Erin, it's a great question.
That's my question. It was really more about
our first step in doing that was the town meeting survey, which may seem like it wasn't enough, but we've gotten a lot of feedback from it. And I think, as I said before, it already has changed our minds about when we're having things like the special meeting. So that's the first step that we've already done. Certainly there's more that we could do, absolutely, but that's what we've done so far.
Can I just ask a quick question? Sorry. Could the select board on its own volitions form a subcommittee, or do you require the town to ask you to do that?
Sorry, I'm turning it off and on so you don't hear my heavy breathing. So we typically would create a task force for town meeting, and then similar to the steering committee for Buffalo Mountain, you would then submit a letter of interest. We would reach out to folks. That is a process we typically, we could certainly do that. We don't have that right now, but it is something we could create.
All right. Are there any other questions about Article 2? We'll start over here. Dave.
Thank you. My name is Patrick Larson. I live in East Hardwick. I've lived there for a little over 25 years. Like everybody here, I care deeply about the people of this community, and I've given a lot of myself to this town and to the surrounding towns over the last 25 years. Town meeting has a long history, but we seem to ignore the fact that a lot of that history is trying to keep people from voting. For half a century, women were outright banned from voting in town meetings. Today, the roadblocks have changed, but the disenfranchisement of voters remains. The nature of the system now disenfranchises working class, poor people, single parents, child care providers, caregivers, medical workers, people who work the graveyard shift, people who travel for work, people who are sick, people who are immobile. That was actually my situation this year, and I'm not going to lie, it pissed me off. People with disabilities. Vermont is ranked 49th in the nation in disability voting access, due entirely to this town meeting process. What we're left with after all that is a very small, very homogeneous subset of voters who are making all the decisions for everybody. That is not what a healthy democracy looks like. Regarding the disenfranchisement of disabled people, there are two organizations, Disability Rights Vermont and American Association of People with Disabilities, that are currently lobbying the legislature for a statewide shift from the town meeting floor vote to Australian ballot due to disenfranchisement and perceived civil rights violations. Lastly, the town of Jericho just went through this process either last year or the year before. Their entire process was driven by their equity committee due to obvious equity issues with this process. I want to hear tonight from someone on the Hardwick Equity Committee about their position on this issue. You're never going to have lower hanging fruit than this, and I'm disappointed in your silence up to this point. So I basically distilled the vote down to this. Do we want people to have a realistic and reasonable opportunity to vote, or do we want to sustain a system that disenfranchises and excludes our neighbors? I'm voting yes on Article 2, obviously.
All right, can we come down to, Dave, can we come down here? Sorry, thank you. I understand that there's a lot of folks to get to. Yes.
Lynn Gedanken, Hardwick. I hear what people are saying about people being disenfranchised, and that is a really bad thing, and I think there are ways. We have technology now that we didn't used to have. I think that Article 2 is precipitous. It's an all or nothing, and I would urge the select board. My hope is that it gets voted down and that the select board hears what people are saying and forms a task force to look at the time and place and manner of town meeting, to see if there are other ways to have some kind of a hybrid so that everybody does get to vote, but we have the interchange, we have the ability to make amendments to motions. We have the ability to make motions from the floor. We have the ability to hear our neighbors and to hear what people have to say and to listen and maybe change our minds.
Yes. All right, let's go up into the balcony. We'll go over to Matt. Oh, he can, yeah. Please.
Hi, I'm Brad Ferlin. I live on Center Road. And I would just like to say that I'm going to vote in favor of moving to an Australian ballot. Not because I want to, and not because I haven't participated in town meetings in the past. There are very few that I have missed when I had the opportunity to make it and participate in it. And I think it's just a great process. But as I've gotten older and as we've gotten older, our life has changed. And we have chosen to do stuff during the winter now that we didn't used to do. And by making those life changes, it has locked us out of attending town meeting. And I was very disappointed, and we always request an absentee ballot. But that only goes so far. The biggest things that impact me are the money appropriations, and we don't get a chance to vote on those. And I know it's a choice that we make, but everybody has an issue that the people that don't attend, there's a reason why they don't attend. And I know I could change mine, we could change ours if we wanted to, but we don't. I mean, that we're at that age, that's what we do. But unfortunately, it's locked us out. But I think it's unfortunate also that it's up or down, it's all or nothing. And I think there's something in between there that can work for all of us. My other question is that just for an understanding perspective, I was under the impression that the original petition was for the purpose of just money appropriations. But now we're talking about something completely, and I think substantially different in the way this petition was presented. And I may be misunderstanding that, but is what we're voting on tonight what the original petition was? Or does the board have the authority to change the original petition and present something different, which is what we're seeing tonight? Thank you.
Select Board? Yeah. Thank you, Brad. So yes, the original petition was different. There was also a third request that we, so what the Select Board does when we receive petitions, review those. We review those with our lawyer as well to see what is valid and what is changed. We had a discussion when we got those petitions about, in the original petition, the only thing that was left out was the voting of officers. And so we discussed at the meeting that having a town meeting just to vote on the officers didn't seem like it was reasonable, that it would take a lot of staff time to have that it seemed, so we discussed that. There were some people in the audience who also provided feedback for that, and so it was changed to what it is tonight.
All right, we'll go to Matt. Reno, yeah.
I'll be real quick. I just want to say a lot of people have brought up some really good points on this topic, and I think if we were to look at changing town meeting to Saturday, we lose an awful lot of working class folks. A lot of working class folks work on the weekends. I think if we moved it to an evening, we'd lose an awful lot of working class folks because a lot of working class folks work on the evenings. Probably most folks in the restaurant industry are probably not able to be here tonight, or they're losing out on pay. So I think the most equitable thing we could do would be look at putting pressure on our state government to put pressure on employers that we really honor the holiday of town meeting day, shut down the state to the extent possible and realistic, and allow everyone the opportunity to be able to be here on the dedicated day that it's for. Could we also look at maybe doing some hybrid option? I think people have raised a lot of good points about the reasons for having an Australian ballot. Could we not do some of both to be as equitable as possible? I don't like that this is just straight up and down, as folks have said. I think, do we need to rush so quickly? Is there an emergency of equity here necessarily? Could we maybe pause, take some time, and think this through a little more before we make some rash decisions that are going to potentially have long-term consequences? Thank you.
All right, we'll go to Karen Collier.
Karen Collier. I just want to be clear. The folks that put this petition forward to have voting done by Australian ballot, it was done because people feel like there's got to be an equity for everyone to have the chance to vote. If you choose not to come and vote on Australian ballot, that's on you. I'm going to look at you and then say, don't bitch. I don't want to hear it. If you didn't make it to vote, then don't. But I also have family members sitting next to me who have never been able to attend town meeting. One's a college student. Vermont State Universities continue with classes on town meeting day. Steve works at Willie's. Last year, this past town meeting was the first time he has ever been at town meeting. When our other kids were younger, we couldn't afford for him to miss a day of work. It wasn't a possibility. Whether he wanted to be here, it wasn't that he didn't want to be here. It was that we could not afford as a family to lose his one day's worth of pay. Yes, Matt, you're always going to lose somebody. You do it at night, you do town meeting at night, you're going to obviously miss the people that are working nights. You do it on the weekends, obviously you're going to miss the people that are working on the weekends. There's never going to be a time when you can get everybody at town meeting. By doing an Australian ballot, it gives the people 9 to 7, I think is what typically are the hours of voting, the chance to get in and vote. We can still have town meeting on a Saturday prior to town meeting day. We can still do this discussion. I have come to town meeting almost every single year. I can count on one hand the amount of times that I have not been sitting at town meeting. I too love the fact that we can sit here and debate. But there's a lot of different reasons why people like to vote by ballots. somebody was asking why we wanted to do paper ballots. Some people own businesses. They don't want to raise their hand and have somebody else look at them and say, oh, they're voting against me. I'm not going to purchase a home by them because they voted against what I feel strongly about. There's a lot of reasons people want to vote privately. Equity. We have got to, come on, people, my fellow Democrats. I feel like I'm in an island by myself. We are the party of voter equity, and you are suppressing so many people by not allowing Australian ballot. Please stop and think and just be smart about this, folks.
All right, come down. Yep, right there.
Robin Leslie. I just want to point out the irony about talking of equity when tonight this relatively small group of people out of the entire checklist are here doing an up or down vote on Australian ballot when there are many people who are not able to be here for the very reasons that have already been mentioned. And here we are making the decision on their behalf for next year. I think that there are some things that maybe the select board can talk about, but this up and down vote I find a little problematic, although I am in favor of an Australian ballot.
All right, we'll come over here to Mary Gagnon. Or Opie, do you have a response?
Robin, just to clarify, we have to do this vote by the way the rules are and the statutes are written. We have to come back into this room and have this vote in this way in order to change it.
Understood. Nevertheless.
But I hear what you're saying and I understand what you're saying.
So in that case,
yeah.
Perhaps voting
Yeah.
down in order to make Australian ballot happen in a way.
Thank you, Robin. Thank you. Over to Mary.
I appreciate all the different opinions we've heard here tonight, and all the different people who were brave and microphone and talked into it, because that's not my forte. I do have a question about if we did switch to all Australian ballot and we did decide to have a town meeting prior to the day that is designated as the town vote, would we no longer have the ability to make those kinds of amendments to what our appropriations are? Would we have to do the town meeting so far in advance that the numbers that were printed on the ballot for our budgets and for our appropriations to reflect what the town decided can't happen 2 days before we have a town meeting? So I don't understand how the mechanics of it would work. I'm still on the fence as of right now how I will vote on this issue, because I don't have clarity for that part. Can the board help with this at all?
Yes, I can certainly speak to that, Mary. So just to clarify the whole process, so we start working on the budget in October. Everyone is absolutely welcome to come to those meetings and provide their opinions, provide their feedback. I think the select board and the town does an incredible job listening to people out in the community, but also people who come to those meetings. That is actually the best time to talk to us, because that's when we're working on everything. Then we have to print the budget by mid-January. Once it's printed, that's what you're voting on. So we vote on the budget on the floor, so there is potentially option to change some things in the current scenario. But if this were voted, then there would be an information session. At that information session, those numbers couldn't change. We could hear feedback, we could think about that, we could log it for next year, but those numbers are the numbers. I will also say that there is an opportunity to make an amendment to this. We could certainly add this item as an Australian ballot item next town meeting that everybody could vote on. There could also be changes to the wording, but I'm just putting it out there that we can make some changes tonight if we need to.
Hold on. Okay, thank you. Sorry. Can I please have Lynn go over and have you speak into a microphone? Thank you.
Motion to change the wording, I think there's support here, to say that we allow Australian ballot voting on the day of town meeting day and for 1 day afterward.
Okay.
Why can't we allow both types of voting?
I think that motion is a little confusing, and I understand what you're trying to say.
If you didn't have the word exclusively in that, I think we could vote on it, but what you're voting on is going to fundamentally change things.
Yes.
You know, and I don't think this amendment could be voted on the way it's written. You have my support. I think you have a lot of support for Australian ballot, but the way that it's written, it's not specific enough.
So you could make a motion to ask the select board to create a study committee to research the effects. That was a very clear amendment to this article. I am very cautious about making any very broader decisions changing Hardwick's voting. That's all. All right, are there any other questions or comments or discussion about the article? Yes, there's one over here. Oh, yes. Oh, wait, Tess. Yeah, we'll start over here and then we'll go down.
Lori Ferlin, Hardwick. Am I on? Is it possible to amend this to make town meetings on the Saturday before the first Tuesday of March, with a time to be determined by the select board later?
Yeah, so let me clarify that the select board determines when town meeting is going to happen, typically November, December, before it's warned. And that, again, is a part of the reason why we've had this town meeting survey. So we've already started the process of getting feedback as to when it would be the most accessible to folks. So it is in process, and then we determine in the fall when that's going to happen.
Okay. So we can't amend what we're voting on tonight to say we were to keep town meeting.
Sure, I mean, you can say anything you want, really,
it to be
and we can vote on it because the petition. I mean, that's if you wanted. That's why we're here. So as Ron earlier made the amendment to have it be Saturday, you can put Tuesday at 9 a.m. if you really want to. But I think the select board. I'm not going to speak for the whole select board, but I think the select board has heard that the current time for town meeting is not convenient. So we've heard that. The surveys have pretty much all said that. So that is very clear. And that could either be an amendment tonight, or we could just determine that in the fall.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tess, we're going down.
So this is pretty ironic, but I get paid. I get a paid day off to come to town meetings, so I can attend town meeting and come vote. But if we move to Australian ballot and the ballots are held on a weekday, I will be disenfranchised. I am the opposite of what most people are experiencing, which is kind of weird. My point is, I think that this is a little premature. I think that this needs more attention and more discussion and more work with the select board to come up with a more equitable and balanced situation. We've had informational town meetings before. Nobody shows up, 5 people. So we're essentially voting to eliminate town meeting and disenfranchise some people. Some people will be disenfranchised no matter if we vote this way tonight. Just understand that that's the thing. I will vote against this because I think this needs more attention.
All right, we'll come here.
David Kreindler. I'm hearing in this room an amazing commitment to democracy. I'm hearing people say that they're concerned about their fellow Hardwick citizens being disenfranchised by the current process. And I have enormous respect for those folks. But I think that what's missing, and some folks have touched on it, is that democracy is not just about voting. One of the crucial components of the current town meeting is our ability to change our minds and amend the proposals that we're confronted with. And I think that although an Australian ballot may improve equity in voting, it doesn't necessarily improve democracy, because there's no process included in the current article for allowing amendment of proposals. And for that reason, I would like to propose an amendment to the article to strike the current text and instruct the select board to study and continue the public engagement process to come up with a democratic process for the town of Hardwick that maximizes engagement and participation of voters without eliminating their ability to make amendments to articles that come to the meeting.
Okay. Who was the second?
Julie Sullivan. Second.
You have that for the minutes? All right, one moment. I'm just going to finish writing that down, and then I will come back. Okay. All right. David, I'm going to read back what I have written. I want to make sure I have this right. So you're proposing an amendment to strike the current text and instruct the select board to study and hold public engagement sessions to maximize engagement and democracy. Does that work? Is that?
Without eliminating the ability to make amendments.
Okay. And specifically looking at the amendment process. Okay.
No, not specific.
Oh, sorry. Can
I?
Yes.
I'm hearing without not looking at the amendment process, I'm hearing the motion as, if you want to restate, to specifically not eliminate the amendment process, just to respect the words that were said.
The gist of it is everybody in this room wants to improve democracy in Hardwick. Most people see that as improving the situation of disenfranchisement around voting. And I think that we do all want to improve that situation, but because an Australian ballot creates a new problem of eliminating the ability to amend things, the instruction to the select board is to come up with their best optimization of the democratic process that does not eliminate the ability for the town folk to amend things.
Okay. And 2. Okay. So the current amendment is to strike current text and instruct the select board to study and hold public engagement sessions to maximize engagement and democracy and to maintain an amendment process in town meeting. Okay. Please silence your phone. Town meeting. Okay. So there was a motion from David, and there was a second. I forgot your name, I'm sorry. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Point of order. Where are you? Up there? Yes. Lynn?
I just want a little bit of clarification on this motion. I want to make sure that I agree with the sentiment of not wanting to eliminate the amendment procedure. I understand what he's saying. But I hope that doesn't lock us into having to do that and maintain a process during town meeting in which to vote on financial appropriations. I just want to make sure we're not locking ourselves into that, and that the amendment process could happen much before, during the budget making process or sometime. Or are we locking ourselves into?
So my understanding is, all we are doing is asking the select board to hold public engagement sessions to maximize engagement and democracy at town meeting and in some capacity maintain the amendment process. There's not specifics about what and when that is. We are just asking the select board to maintain that amendment process in the discussions of future town meetings.
Okay.
So we're not locking ourselves out of anything necessarily.
I'll take your word for that.
I may be wrong.
Thank you.
But my understanding is we're just asking the select board to do a little bit of research. Okay. Sorry, I am still finding the procedural stuff for this. Are there any other questions about the amendment discussion? Just the amendment. Down here. Yes, Paul.
Thank you. I'm in favor of this amendment, and I'd like to offer a suggestion that I believe is happening somewhere else in Vermont, and I tonight couldn't find it. My suggestion is that the town call a special town meeting that would require the select board to produce budgets and everything else that'll be on the warning approximately 2 weeks prior to when they do. But to call a special town meeting in early January when everything has been prepared for town meeting, during which the town meeting process would hold, and all of those articles would be produced so that we could in fact discuss and amend them. Then the town meeting, the town report would get produced with all that information in it, and everything could then go to Australian ballot. Now, some have said, well, then the people in the room aren't equitable. You're right. But it's no worse than now to ask people to come, and then whatever the people who do come convince the select board to vote on or amend things with a vote shows up for everybody to vote on, which can then be voted up or down. So I'm almost prepared to amend David's suggestion to require an Australian ballot vote on the Australian ballot and to call for a special meeting in early January.
So can
Hold on. But I think David's suggestion does that, and I'm not going to call for an amendment. I support David's suggestion.
Thank you, Paul. Okay, great. Is there any other questions specifically about the amendment? Oh, Kaylee, do you want to answer anything?
There's some time frames.
Yeah.
On your amendment, it can't be early January. There are specific deadlines for appropriations and other things that go on the Australian ballot now that are mid to end January. So there couldn't be something in early January for a special meeting.
What is the, moderator?
Yes.
Could you ask the town clerk moderator, could you ask the town clerk what date they have to send the town report to the printer?
I'm actually going to pause this discussion because I think this is a great opportunity that maybe a future task force could figure out. So, okay, a hypothetical task force that may exist in the future. So, at this point, are there any other specific discussion questions about this amendment and the process for the amendment? Yeah, Kaylee.
So I would just like to make a quick comment, and this connects to what Ross said earlier. I think all of you here tonight is a perfect example of democracy, and I really appreciate every single one of you being here. I have a huge amount of empathy for the parents. My husband and my 4-year-old went home already, so kudos to the parents who are holding their children on by a thread. But I think it's really, we have heard, at least I have, everything that everybody has said. And I think that there is a lot that we can do to make it better, and we want to do that. So none of this is going to go unheard. And from now until January, we have an opportunity. We meet twice a month. You can email us, you can come to meetings and let us know. You can fill out the town meeting survey again. But we are going to make change on this matter. So I just want to say that we are always available. So thank you for being here.
All right, Randy?
Randy Bledsoe, Hardwick, and I'm not sure this works either, but is it possible to add to the amendment a stipulation that this will be brought to vote in some manner to the town, either by the end of the year or before the next town meeting? Just to create some kind of actual outcome that satisfies concerns in this room. Thank you.
So, Renee, I'm just going to speak to that. I'm not the moderator, so apologies for that, Audrey. But
Kaylee can answer.
I would just say that I think the select board has heard that that's needed and wanted. So I think we can either make it an item on an existing agenda or have a special meeting. But I think we've heard that loud and clear that we want to have more people making a decision about it. So I don't know if it's up to you all to make it an amendment, but I think we've heard that more people want to be involved in the process.
So we would have to amend the amendment, which would be another vote, and then we would vote on the amendment, and then we would vote on the article. So if you want to just cut out one of those votes, you can just keep in mind that the select board has verbally said yes, they're going to really push on this before next town meeting as much as possible. If that answers your question, Randy.
Point of order?
Yes, Paul.
Could we vote to suspend the rule that requires the show of hands and go back to voice vote?
At this point, I understand that, and I just want to keep it with the index cards because Tanya did a great job trying to organize it for us, and I want to respect that. Okay. Are there any other questions? Tess? One up there?
Hello, Russell Shopland, East Hardwick. I was wondering if we went forward with this suggestion to have the select board look at this question and come up with potentially a better solution. If we could also include, if that gets voted on in the future, the original motion here that was brought so that that can be considered against it.
Okay. So that is not a specific motion to amend it, but select board, do you want to just say like?
No, I think that both tonight and since town meeting, we've heard this issue. And I don't want to speak for the whole select board, but I know I personally would want to think about this article again. And as I said before, whether that's putting it on the Australian ballot vote for next town meeting, or I just heard tonight that it's really important, and I believe it's important too. So I think what this, to my mind, what this is telling us is not that we're getting rid of that as an option, but that we're going to think about how we can do it to the best of our ability and do another vote in the future for it, is what I'm understanding that motion to be.
All right. So is this relevant to the amendment process?
Yes.
Okay.
I would like to make an amendment, Roberta Foster from Hardwick. I would like to make an amendment that maybe we don't even vote tonight and do it by Australian ballot, like Rob and Leslie had said, because that way everybody has a chance that wasn't able to get to this meeting tonight. Let's just table it for the Australian ballot and do a paper ballot.
So right now, where we are in the process, we can't necessarily add another amendment or do anything until we figure out what we're doing with this amendment. So, but I understand what you're saying. Sorry, what? Okay, so I'm getting a general vibe that people are ready. Are you ready for the question? So, all those in favor of striking the current text in Article 2 to instruct the select board to study and hold public engagement sessions to maximize engagement and democracy and to maintain an amendment process in town meeting, please signify by raising your index cards. JPs. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. Huh? Yeah, I got the balcony. Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right, you can put your hands down. Sorry, thank you. All right, all those opposed to the amendment, please signify by raising your index card. All right. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay. All right, the ayes have it, and you have passed the amendment. All right. Can I please have everyone's attention? We are almost done. Yay. Okay. Don't you dare. All right, Article 2 now reads, that we will instruct that the town will instruct the select board to study and hold public engagement sessions to maximize engagement and democracy and to maintain an amendment process in town meeting. Yes, Paul.
With a strike all amendment that passed is another vote.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Paul Fix. With a strike all amendment that passed is another vote necessary.
Yes. All right, yeah, because we just agreed to change the words on the article, and now we need to vote again on the article. All right? Okay, so there's a motion. Is there a second? Okay, Mika Riddleberger made a motion. Walker Wright made a second. Is there any debate on the article? Absolutely, I can. So, the article says, the town will instruct the select board to study and hold public engagement sessions to maximize engagement and democracy and to maintain an amendment process in town meetings. Is there any discussion on the motion? All good, all good. If folks are ready to go, are you ready for the question? Yeah, all right. All those in favor of passing Article 2 as written, please signify by raising your index cards. You know the drill. Sorry, Article 2 as amendment. Shall the town instruct the select board? Okay. Great. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52. Almost done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, plus balcony?
Plus your balcony. I did.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. All right, you may lower your hands. All those opposed to Article 2, please signify by raising your cards. Nice and tall so I can count them, please. Great. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Anyone in the balcony that I'm missing? Okay. You have one? Oh, there you go. Sorry. Thank you. 1. All right. You may lower your cards. All right. You have passed, the ayes have it, and you have passed the article. All right. We are now on to Article 3, to transact any other non-binding business proper to be brought before said meeting. There's a motion to adjourn. There's a second.
You don't need a second.
All those in favor of adjournment? All right. All those opposed? Thank you all. Have a great evening.